Coming to get you, Bobber.
Hi guys, and welcome to my Sleepaway Camp franchise ranking. This franchise has probably been one of the hardest to watch and one of the hardest to review because the movies are so bad, but it was probably one of the easiest ones for me to rank, so here's my ranking. And at number 4 is Return to Sleepaway Camp, the 4th movie in the franchise. Not only is this the worst movie in the franchise, it is one of the worst movies that I've ever seen in my entire life. It looks like it had a budget of maybe $10,000, the acting was awful, the cinematography was awful, the score looks like it was scored by a child, and there was nothing about this movie that was pleasing to the eye. I thought the return of the original director and 3 main characters would have made this movie a lot better, but it turns out the complete opposite happened. And at number 3 is Sleepaway Camp 3. This movie was shot back to back with Sleepaway Camp 2, and I think that the 2 movies together would have made a decent movie, but with them splitting up the 2 movies, I think that all the ideas went to Sleepaway Camp 2 and all of the rest just went to Sleepaway Camp 3. Even though these movies were shot back to back, the acting in part 3 was absolutely nothing compared to the acting in part 2. The bad thing about part 3 was we saw everything in part 2 already and they just repeated themselves again with part 3, so it was like we were watching a remake of part 2 just after a year.
Guess who?
Bobby?
Yeah. How'd you know?
Like a guess.
And at number 2 is Sleepaway Camp 2. The only reason this one is higher on the list than Sleepaway Camp 3 is because the acting in this one was really good, and I think the acting in part 2 was the best of the entire franchise. The storyline wasn't bad. I think, like I mentioned for part 3, the storyline was spread over 2 movies when it shouldn't have been. It should have just been 1 movie on its own, and I think that if we combined both movies it would have been a decent movie, possibly even better than the original, but because they did split it up, then they've just watered it down completely. Pamela Springsteen did play a good Angela, but I still had it in the back of my mind that I wanted to see Felicia Rose to see what she could have brought to the role of Angela. I had some decent kills in it, just like Sleepaway Camp 3, but the kills were pointless, and Angela again had no motive whatsoever.
You talk too much.
And at number 1 is the original Sleepaway Camp from 1983. Now this isn't number 1 because it's a good movie, it's just number 1 because it's the best of a bad bunch. It has got a watchability factor about it, it's got that 80s aesthetic look to it too, and I will go back and watch it again in the future, but it's not one that I'll actively look out to watch all the time because it's not a great movie. The only memorable thing about this film is the ending. The ending was pointless, like I mentioned in the movie review, but it's one of those endings that is so crazy that you can't help but enjoy. If you take away the bad acting, it's still got something pleasing about it. It's got a feeling of isolation like the Friday the 13th movies, and I think that's what draws me towards this film because of the look of it and the idea behind the story. So that's my ranking of the Sleepaway Camp franchise, guys. It's probably no surprise with all the stuff I've been saying in the movie reviews leading up to this ranking, but as always, leave your comments down below and let me know your ranking as well. Anyway guys, thanks a lot for watching again, thanks for subscribing, I'll see you soon, bye bye.